If you're into superheroes and XCOM, you're going to feel right at home playing CAPES. CAPES is a turn-based strategy game much like XCOM, but instead of fighting aliens, you're pitted against evil supervillains. The story is set in a dark world where the heroes have failed and lost to the villains, and now the villains control the world. Assemble a ragtag crew of superheroes and take back the world from the villains. Or, something like that. The story is still in development. In this game, you're going to be able to recruit different heroes to your party to fight XCOM style. From what the demo has shown me, it looks like there's going to be a wide variety of playable characters. Each character has their own ability and ultimates, and the character abilities can combo with each other. Each character has their own unique abilities and animations. The abilities' effects correspond with their class. There were 4 different classes in the demo: Defender, Striker, Special, and Attacker. The Defender in the game wasn't the most mobile of characters, but he was the most sturdy for sure. He had abilities that gave him and his teammates armor, and abilities that stunned enemies. The Striker class was very mobile. They had abilities that let them go in and out of fights all in one turn. They also had multiple abilities that could disarm enemies, which is very useful in reducing incoming damage. The Special class had a lot of abilities that pushed around enemies on the field. This was very handy for pulling enemies into fire or tossing an enemy into an exploding barrel. The Attacker class was exactly as it sounds, attack focused. They were able to put out high single target damage. The attacker didn't have the highest health, but he had range and a ton of damage, and what more could you want from your glass cannon? Each of the characters had combo abilities. What that means is if a character like the Defender was standing next to a character who could teleport, he could spend 1 action point to get teleported, or if my attacker was standing near the Speedster Striker, he could attack at range while the Speedster ran up and disarmed the enemy he was attacking, all in 1 action. This made it really useful for combining different abilities and really using your full team comp to its full potential. The abilities in the game all felt really powerful, but not to a game-breaking level. The old ones came with their own unique animations. Speaking of animations, this is where the game really shines. Every attack in the game has its own animation, and the combo abilities all have their own unique animations. It made all the powers in the game really fun to use, and I wanted to unlock more abilities for each of the characters because of it. There was a skill tree in the game. Unfortunately, it was locked in the demo, but it did look like you could unlock new powers as you level up your characters. The story missions in the demo had a surprisingly good feel to them. Each mission had bonus objectives that were harder to beat than I anticipated. I failed 1 or 2 of the bonus objectives in each of the levels I played, which made me want to replay the level and complete each bonus objective. If the bonus objectives were too easy, I feel like there wouldn't really be a point to them, but they weren't so hard that I was pulling my hair out. It was still doable, but you had to replay the level to really go for the bonus objective. It felt really nice from a gameplay perspective. The points where I think this game struggle are the story and the art. The story is still in development, but I feel like the superhero versus supervillain trope is a little played out unless it's really serious, like a boys storyline where people are getting their heads ripped off or something like that. But I don't think this game's going to offer that type of story. It's definitely more of a gameplay-focused game, so I don't really mind the story. The story is about assembling a crew of superheroes to fight the supervillains. It's an easy way to add protagonists and antagonists to the game. I think what I care most about in the game is unlocking new playable characters, and the story is just an easy, simple way to do that. The art isn't the greatest. It's kind of got like a Fortnite feel with the classic superhero spin to it. It looks like they put most of their time into the animations of the game rather than make complex characters. But the character design is subjective. If you like it, more power to you. If you don't, the gameplay is good enough to look past it. The story and character design were, in my opinion, the weakest points of the game, and I think the better points of the game, like the gameplay and animations, completely overshadow the negatives. I had a lot of time with the demo and a lot of fun with the demo. I think the gameplay was solid enough to keep me interested, and the combo attacks of the characters really made me want to try out all the combinations and unlock more characters to try out the different strategies. As the levels get harder and the bonus objectives get more complicated, the combinations of characters will become more prevalent, and it will keep the gameplay from feeling stale. A lot of my issues with the game are subjective, and putting aside all my biases, I'm definitely going to play through this game on release. Check out my full review when it comes out on our other channel, GG Logs. Thanks for watching.